everybody. Welcome to Smart Money with Emmy Hernandez. I'm your host, Emmy Hernandez. No matter your age, it's never too late or too early to start thinking about making your money work for you. But where to start? That's why I'm here. I'm excited to lay out some key steps to help you save, grow, and invest your money in the smartest way possible. Today, we're going to talk about why do you want to work with a financial advisor and how to choose the right one for you. Working with a financial professional can be a very important step in your life. How to find the right one is also important. Glenn Grant, our special guest, is back here with us today. He does a lot of stuff, so I'm going to let him introduce himself to you.
Great to be with you, Emmy. Yes, I am an author of 4 books. My first book was called The Awakening, and my second book is called The Psychology of Higher Living. Both of those have very existential themes. And my most recent book is called Compound Wealth, and that is completely different from the whole existential philosophical narrative that I tend to write and speak about. And my forthcoming book is called Lead to Win. It was basically on human leadership and what individuals and corporations can do to foster greater leadership. But on Compound Wealth, I got very much into the financial markets, how people grow their wealth, how they secure their wealth, how they protect themselves, and all the mitigating factors in our economy and so forth. So completely different. I've been a professional speaker for over 25 years, and I am the CEO and founder of the Institute for Human Development, where I do workshops and seminars and keynote speeches and help people be the best version of themselves and reach their fullest potential.
Thank you. Well, you have a lot of experience working with
I do.
professional, and with your book Compound Wealth, are you talking about asset protections
Yes.
and that nature? So I'm sure you come across many financial professional as well, and that's why I'm inviting you today to talk about this. Why is it important for somebody to work with a financial professional?
Well, if I could, let me roll back the clock. I'm used to working with individuals who are trying to raise a lot of money for their business. I've come across a lot of stockbrokers in my life, a lot of financial advisors. I'm a big fan of the financial advisory industry. I think it's absolutely valuable and critical to securing people's assets and helping them protect their money as well. So I think financial advisors play a very important role in our culture and our society. And I've certainly met a lot of them over the years and coached a lot of them as well on how they can grow their business. So I think I've seen enough of them to give a pretty educated opinion on what should go into picking a good financial advisor, somebody that you can really work with and develop a trusting relationship and help plan a conservative way of protecting your money.
Okay. Well, for the audience, they may not understand why do they need a professional for that. I mean, for example, like you go get a haircut,
Right.
you're gonna get a hairdresser, right? You go see a doctor, because you have some certain condition, you go for a specialist,
Right.
right? So same thing, right? For financial, your asset, your investment, you probably want to find somebody with a specific skill set that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And you probably, like you said, you coach some of them and you work with them in terms of M&E. So you'll know that in the financial industry, it's not only one type of planner.
Right.
You may find somebody that may just an insurance agent. So basically, they just sell insurance only.
Right.
So one thing that people should know is that you need to look at the background and try to find someone that have the skill set for what you're looking for.
You know, it's interesting. I've run mastermind groups for many years, and in my mastermind groups, I always ask people, how much do you think you need to retire? Or how much would be ideal for you? And the average person in my mastermind group will say, I would like to have 3 to 5 million in net worth to be able to retire. So if you take that as the initial premise, I think it also depends on the stage of life that you're in. You know, are you 25 years old and you're just starting your career and coming out of school? Are you 45 years old, maybe 50, getting ready to possibly retire? Or are you in your 60s and 70s? And also, what amount of capital do you actually have? What amount of assets do you have? If you only have a couple $100,000 versus somebody that has substantial assets of $3 or $4 or $5 million. I think the biggest thing is to be conservative. If you're looking at real estate, for example, that can be sometimes a very risky type of endeavor, yet most people want to own real estate, they want to invest in it. So it takes a conservative approach to make sure you don't get wiped out in real estate. And the same thing in picking a financial advisor. It's really sitting down with somebody. So where I would always start with my startup clients is I'd sit down and have coffee with them. And if I didn't feel comfortable in having coffee with the CEO, how could I therefore then raise capital or feel good and have the integrity, for example, to put an investor in that startup company? So the same thing goes true for your financial advisor. It's first sitting down and seeing, do they share the same values? Are they as conservative as you? Do they want to take you in a risky direction? Because there's different types of financial advisors. We know there's stockbrokers out there that if you want to say, hey, here's $100,000 and I hope to grow this to $500,000, go out and trade stocks for me on a daily basis. Well, that's completely different than a financial advisor that's going to be very conservative and say, let's mitigate our downside risk and put you in something very, very conservative.
So that's basically kind of like getting to like why and when, right? So you have to know the why and the when to do that. Because I mean, if you are what state in your life?
What stage of life are you in?
If you are still young and you want to just grow, maybe you're just going to find somebody's specific skill set as a broker to trade. But if you are closer to retirement, then you want to find somebody that maybe have skill set to help you calculate how much money you need for retirement, right? Because you can't just grab number from the thin air. You would have to go through the process of running, inflations and everything else to come up with the number. So then you're looking at whether that particular financial advisor have that skill set, work with the clientele in that area, right? So basically the why and the when. So you need someone that working for a specific area.
Yeah, and it's the stage of life, not only where the client's at, but the stage of life of where the financial advisor is at. I've had several financial advisors in my mastermind groups, and again, I've coached them. And so you might find a financial advisor who's in their 50s and maybe they've been in the business for 25 years. Maybe you're dealing with a financial advisor who's in their late 20s, early 30s, and they're kind of new to the industry. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just where is the stage of life of you as a client, and where is that person in their business as far as where there's a good match. And again, when you're in your 20s or your early 30s, you may want to be investing in things like real estate. You may want to be in the stock market and do those types of growth type of investing. And then again, if you're towards retirement, you want to be ultra conservative. But I think to pick a good financial advisor is really to sit down with them and just trust your gut. How do you feel about them?
Hold that thought. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about that. We were just talking about the why and the when to use a financial advisor. Coming up next, we're going to talk about how to choose the right one for you.